With all the anticipation around its release, Solo Leveling ended up living up to its hype. Had a very interesting introduction episode that gives us a clear idea of what we're getting into. I like all of the cast so far, at least when it comes to the main characters. Most interesting for me is Cha-hain. I want to learn more about her ASAP. Also very intrigued to see Jin Woo's development, how he goes from point D to point A, although I can understand why people wouldn't like him, as it may kind of seem like they're setting him up to be your average Sky MC who is weak but plot device makes him become OP without any real build up. But I have confidence Jin Woo won't go that route. Look, I'm not a source reader, I don't know anything about this besides Jin Woo becoming Drip Woo, but even as an anime only, I kinda felt like this episode just started off at a strange point. We got a group of hunters trying to stop this horde of what I assume are ants, but I don't even know why this group of NPCs were trying. They were just literally bait until the S-rank hunters showed up. From what I heard from some source readers was that this is an event that's supposed to happen later in the story. I don't remember word for word what I heard from them. It was either specifically the stuff with these ants or just an island raid like this. I never really understood when anime does this thing with starting off with a future event and then getting to the actual main stuff. Other than that, I really appreciate how they explain some of the world to us. It's really intriguing. Because of these portals to other dimensions opening in the human world somehow, the world is now like an MMORPG. There's dungeons and goblins and other kinds of shit you'd see in those games. Then we have the ranking systems for anyone who's associated with the Hunter Company, going from S to E rank, showing our boy Jin Woo at the lowest rank. One thing I'm still not clear on, maybe I might have missed it, hunters are people who have awakened abilities and magic flowing in them. I couldn't really tell if Jin Woo had awakened yet or not, which makes me wonder if anyone can become hunters or if it's just exclusive to anyone with an ability. Which I find it very interesting how there's a cap to the potential of someone's abilities. You can either awaken a really strong ability or a weak one. There's no in-betweens and they can't be more powerful, even if you went to train in the hyperbolic time chamber for a set amount of time. Going back to the ranks I mentioned earlier, they're dependent on how strong your ability is. E rank is obviously for anyone with weak magic, and S is one for the strongest magic. But maybe Jin Woo hasn't awakened yet, since we only see him using physical attacks. Anyways, great introduction, it makes the power scaling a lot more clear. Aside from Cha-hain and Jin Woo's character progression, I like the orange haired girl, which I think her name was Johi. Her character design is great, but I also liked how she has a thing for Jin Woo. I know they're not gonna focus on the relationship, but it's nice to see how they throw in little bits of romance in there. Now I'm just wondering if she's gonna survive or get yeeted off like the rest. She has that main character look, so I'm hoping she is a recurring character. Rather than talking about the dungeon or how Jin Woo's painfully weak, I need to understand his mindset here. He wants to support his family, but also says being a hunter does not pay him well. In that case, it's just extremely stupid and pointless to put your life on the line to make a decent buck to financially aid your family. There might be plenty of other jobs out there that is just a normal job and could pay more for what he's making in those dungeons. So at this point, his reason for being a hunter is just because, I don't know, maybe when he levels up he'll collect more of those crystal things and start being paid good money from the Hunters Association. Besides that, I just wish the author came up with a more reasonable situation for Jin Woo to be this desperate. So far, that's my main issue with this character. I know it's a bit late to mention this, but I have seen some people complain about how they just explain every important thing to you but don't let you figure out the world for yourself. I see where they're coming from, but I gotta disagree. I feel like it's important info for us to understand the world better, to understand the benefits of being a hunter and what stakes are on the line. Sure, maybe they don't have to go out of their way to explain the Hunter Association's purpose or some of their goals, but stuff like the ranking system, people making money from dungeon items, and a look at what the government is planning to use these mana crystals for, seemed fairly relevant for us to get a general understanding of what's going on. Not every conclusion made from observation will always turn out correct. Anyways, let's talk about the true main event of this episode. Gotta say, this hunter party Jin Woo's with are absolute dumbasses. They deserve what's coming to them. Motherfuckers are well aware they should follow the objectives set out by the Hunter Association and not do shit on their own. But no, let me just walk into a door that looks like the gates of hell. Surely we'll be fine, it's just a couple of weak monsters. Surprise, surprise, it's actually some S+ tier dungeon room. How do you not look at a giant statue sitting on a throne and not find that kind of weird? What was really crazy though is how that one guy got sliced in half for trying to leave the room. Then again, he had it coming to him. He clearly saw the door shut, but yeah, no, I'm a bounce. This is why you don't give low-ranked adventurers the dangerous missions, because they're always going to be a group of idiots who think they're all that. But yeah, Jin Woo is obviously going to survive, and Juhi might possibly survive. I'm just making a prediction here, but I can kind of see it. Now, either they are somehow going to be saved by S-ranked adventurers, or someone is going to have to ass pull some powers to be able to make an escape. But I think we're definitely going to see more deaths next episode, because there's absolutely no shot they're getting off with 2 or 3 deaths only. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments.